good evening, good afternoon, or maybe between afternoon and evening. Welcome to the reverse pitch session by Pitchflix in collaboration with the Bangalore Tech Summit, which we call Rev BTS. Rev is an event that we run across the globe, all the way from Vietnam, Taiwan till London. And it is an event where we call investors like the ones we have in the room to talk about their investment thesis, their investment strategy, what they are looking for in startups, because we want you all startup founders to truly know what is it that you are entering into as a chemistry with an investor that you're working with. Because it's a relationship that you're building over the next 5 to 10 years. And the kind of chemistry and the kind of alignment that you have will play much greater role than just a transactional monetary transaction. So that's what we want to bring about as to how do you really evolve your conversations with investors. And we also have the policymakers in the room who will be talking about how are they enabling the ecosystem, especially the cross-border ecosystem, to work in a manner that it really benefits the scale-ups to grow from UK to India and from India to UK. And why are we talking UK-India bridge over here? Because Pitchflix, the organization that's organizing this, is a UK-based media specialist with presence all over the world and who specializes in the private market ecosystem. What we bring to you is reverse pitch series. We also bring to you something called Money Wall. We have 250 plus investors from around the globe who are covered by Pitchflix and whose information in video-centric format you can find on our Money Wall, which is a very useful resource for really doing your research before your fundraising and understanding not only what's the investment thesis and strategy that you need to align with, but also the personas that you're looking at. And these are some things that we do. We also amplify the founder pitches through Pitchcast. Say there is a demo day that's going on over here, for instance, and a demo day of founders going on over here. After that, we take that and we amplify with our 250 plus investors from across the globe and understand where the heat map is for your startup. No idea is good or bad, but it needs to be at the right place and the right time. And it could be anywhere across the globe that your right time and right place is. That's what we help you uncover. So founders in the room, please go ahead and register on pitchflix.tv and look up what other founders are doing in the world or what the investors are looking for. Investors register on the platform to actually discover the founders, and the registering founders also upload your pitch video so that you are visible to the investors. Accelerators, you can also come on board to ensure that we are actually working with you to enable and amplify your reach over and beyond whatever networks you're connected in. With that, I would love to also let you know that Pitchflix initiative is supported by the UK Department of Business and Trade. And so is the case across the world, and that is where we also have representation today from the UK Department of Business and Trade by Geeta and Mr. Rajan, Mrs. Geeta and Mr. Rajan, who will be coming on the stage and letting us know about what is UK DBT exactly, how is it enabling us, how can the UK-India bridge be further strengthened, and what are the ways that we are enabled, or there are policies to support us as founders, but we are not really aware of yet. So that is what we are looking at right now. With that, allow me to welcome, and please put your hands together to welcome Geeta Krishnan Kutty, Department of Business and Trade, United Kingdom, and as in the High Commission that we have over here, to come on the stage and let us know about her point of view.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well aware that we are on the graveyard shift, so we'll make this quick. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. Obviously, you'll know that I was hired by the UK government when I was 10 years old, because I've been at these events, this particular event, for its 28th year. So congratulations to the Karnataka government. The IT.in, when it started, became IT.com, and today is the Bangalore Tech Summit. So indeed, a great landmark for the state of Karnataka, and it's a privilege as part of the UK government for us to have been here for many years. In the audience, you have my colleagues, Chetan and Sajoy, who you should talk to when this event is over with regards for any support. We also have parts of the UK government. Joseph Biden is here from the Manchester Mayor's office. Obviously, we work very closely as government across the regions in the UK. You'll be hearing from my colleague, Mr. K.T. Rajan, who works in the opposite direction that I do, which is UK companies internationalizing, and I look after Indian companies with the team here to sort of find their sort of presence and opportunities in the UK. So as part of UK government, our role is to support globally minded companies to find a base in the UK. We really do focus and strategically advise globally minded companies like yourselves about the opportunities that exist in the UK. We do this rather scientifically. We do this through sectors. We do this via centers of excellence. And all of this is underpinned by the UK government's industrial strategy. Mr. Rajan will talk a lot more about many of the initiatives that he's leading on for the UK government in India, but our work is closely aligned to those sectors. Needless to say, technology underpins most of the work that we do. It's our largest recruiting sector for Indian companies to set up, grow, and find success in the UK. Regardless of size, experience, or tenure, we support companies to set up and grow in the UK. We don't deliver this unilaterally or in silos. We do this with partners like Pitchflix. We do this with our partners in our trade bodies like NASSCOM, CII, TIE, state governments. And that's where we come across companies like yourselves who are probably exploring opportunities in the UK. Why government? We're really your key enablers. Our services are free, confidential, and bespoke. You want to be talking to us for two reasons, besides being free. The most important one is that we want to make sure that you are making an informed decision. You're leveraging our networks, and that will range from VAT registrations, grants, regional excellence, taking advantage of our initiatives, taking advantage of our trade policies, but more importantly, making really informed location decisions in the UK. The second reason is we are right here. We're just down the road. We're on Cunningham Road in Bangalore, but we also exist in cities right across India. Our High Commission is based in Delhi, and you'll find offices like us based in all the embassies across the world. The third reason is once you set up in the UK, as far as the UK government's concerned, you're no more an Indian company or a Spanish company or a French company. You are now a British company, which means you have access to all the support and trade support services that the UK government offers British companies, which means you can explore markets across the world via us. So those are the reasons that I think sort of puts into place the reasons why you should be talking to us as UK government. I'll really very quickly, since we are in a pitch, in pitching, let me pitch the UK. So some quick takeaways. The UK is Europe's #1 venture capital market, attracting billions in investment, especially in fintech, sustainability, and healthcare. London accounts alone for more than half of the deals, making it a powerhouse for entrepreneurs and VCs. A couple of killer facts, and I quote, Europe's VC leader is the UK, consistently being ranked #1 in Europe for venture capital. securing more investment than Germany and France combined since I've been doing this job. As a global standing, between 2021 and 2023, the UK accounted for 5.8% of global VC investment, ranking third worldwide behind the US and China. In terms of investment volume, it's really important to note that the UK venture capital reached 8 billion, cementing its position yet again as Europe's largest VC market. Our strengths are important in fintech because the UK market raised 4 billion in VC funding in 2023, making fintech the crown jewel of the ecosystem. Healthcare and sustainability, these are sectors also which are major magnets for capital, reflecting investor appetite for innovation and impact. The UK government played its part in fintech in India, being present at GFF with our Prime Minister, and we had some really great UK companies here. And my colleague Jacob should be in the audience, and he leads the charge on fintech and BPFS for the UK government. Just a little bit about why the UK and why it matters for entrepreneurs and VCs. Besides capital, fintech, and impact-driven startups, London is sort of a dense network. And when I say dense, I mean this when I walk across some of the areas in the UK where you can have the accelerators, investors, and talent, and centers of excellence all working really well together as an ecosystem. As far as VCs go, the UK is a strategic hub for deal flow with opportunities back-to-back for startups that can scale across the Europe and particularly beyond. I think I'll end here, but I think just to sort of give you one point, if there's anything that you want to take away from this event, is that the UK is open for business. We're here to support you, and we warmly welcome globally minded companies to set up and grow in the UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Geeta. And you guys did see that I gave out a gift to Geeta that's sponsored by our partner, Grama Foods. So just telling them a thanks of gratitude. Just as Geeta was mentioning that she handles more of the Indian companies going to UK, and her counterpart, Mr. Rajan, handles more of UK companies coming to India. So why don't we hear the other side of the story where we understand how the UK DBT is enabling, the team over here is enabling the UK companies to come to India. And if at all, sir, if at all, this is my request, there is a role for investors to play in that. The investors are based out of India, and how can they be contributing to enabling that? With that, kindly put together a big round of applause for Mr. K.T. Rajan to come on the stage and share his point of view with us. A little more louder, please.
Namaskara and a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to Pitchflix for giving this opportunity. And as I was sitting there and as Geeta explained to us about what the Department for Business and Trade does and how Indian companies can look at UK, I thought I'll change my pitch. And I would like to talk about why UK and why now. I think that gives us an idea. Many of you who have been following the media would have seen that there was the UK-India, what we call as a free trade agreement, but officially known as the Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement that was negotiated and finalized as of July 26th. We had Prime Minister Modi going over to the UK, and this was agreed upon. Now the process is in terms of ratification by the UK Parliament, which we expect to happen in the next few months, and it should be in force. What does it mean for Indian companies? It means that any trade that you're doing with UK there is a very clear framework, and especially for digital companies, there are clear categories in which you can consolidate your work and how you can work together. I think it's a 2,000-page document, but and it's available on the net. I won't get too deep here. But then suffice to say that certain key things, like when you look at talent mobility, it was an issue and that was becoming a problem for many of the companies. Ease of doing business was one of the areas that we focused on. We ensured that that is in place. Innovation, and in terms of IP, there were questions back and forth. So we have tried to focus on that. So across the board, we want to see how we can support digital, data, telecom, and IT companies to do business with the UK. As a part of this and ahead of this, the PMs also signed something called the Vision 2035, more of a roadmap in the areas that UK and India will work together. Science and technology is a very important pillar among the 5 pillars in the Vision 2035, and so is education. What we're trying to do is look at Indian talent and how we can consolidate that Indian talent and then integrate it with the UK talent. For example, today, you have enough UK schools opening up in India. Every city you name, there are some UK schools. You must have heard that there are a lot of UK universities opening up in India. Even in Bangalore, we have University of Liverpool, University of Lancaster, starting their sessions from 2026. We have a lot of trade and awarding bodies. We have the chartered bodies and awarding bodies who certify qualifications of various associations from UK who are ratifying qualifications. And then, of course, you have a lot of UK companies. I mean, you name it, Tesco, LSEG, AstraZeneca, Pearson, NatWest, across every industry. There are companies who have operations here. So technically, you need not leave even Bangalore beyond anything else, and you can get a UK schooling, you can get a UK university degree, you can get a professional qualification, you can work for a UK company and carry on research with colleges like Imperial who are opening up research centers here. As running up to this development, about a year back when the new Labour government came in, we had the then Foreign Minister and now the Deputy PM, David Lammy, and we signed something called a Technology and Security Initiative. There were 7 pillars in this initiative, of which 4 are exclusively technology-based. You have AI, semiconductor, future telecom, and quantum. So those are the kind of 4 pillars which are very relevant to this audience. And then, of course, there is critical minerals, advanced material, and life sciences and biotech. Now, in each of these pillars, what we are trying to do is identify Indian talent, identify what are the kind of, and many of the startups are here, what are the kind of areas that you're working on, and see how you can link up with the respective clusters in the UK. For example, if you're working in quantum, we have an exclusive quantum cluster in Scotland, where we work across University of Glasgow, University of Edinburgh, Strathclyde, and Heriot-Watt universities. They look at quantum in terms of computing, in terms of computations, imaging, sensing, and the works. Also in the south, we have the London Quantum Cluster, where we have Imperial. Imperial have a stall here in BTS. We have Imperial, King's College London, and University College of London, who come together to focus on quantum. Like this, individually, there are very many opportunities, and many of the UK companies are looking for Indian partners whom they can work together. It could be for technology arbitrage, it could be for talent arbitrage, it could be for financial arbitrage, and the two can work together and see how we can grow. So the idea is where we can use UK's technology, UK's innovation, collaborate in India. Maybe if there's a manufacturing or anything that we need to do, we can do it in India and develop the actual solution, and then market it globally. One classic example that I can think of is during the COVID, which we are willing to forget, but we can't forget. We had Oxford University developing the vaccine, a commercial pharmaceutical company based in UK, AstraZeneca, commercializing that product, and over 2 billion doses of it being manufactured in India at the Serum Institute in Pune. That's a great example of UK technology linking up with Indian manufacturing and Indian talent and helping the world or marketing to the world and approaching global markets. We would like to do that across every sectors, and especially in technology, there are a lot of opportunities to do that. So please speak to the Department of Business and Trade colleagues who are here. We are happy to support you. Look at how we can help you link up with UK companies, or if UK companies are looking for partners in India, we would like to link you up with them. Thank you, and all the very best in your UK venture.
Are we following the discussions? Can I have a raise of hands? Are we following what's happening, the discussions? Are they interesting? Yes? Even the audience in the back, you can come in. That's okay, you need not stand. You can come in, we have chairs. But a raise of hands following it? Yes? Okay. So we'll move ahead to the next person, Joseph Biden, from the Manchester Mayor's office, who will tell us why and how you should think of growing in Manchester, whether you're an investor or a founder. So please put your hands together for Mr. Joseph Biden.
Hello, everyone. Namaskara. Thank you for having me here today. Really good to be here in Bengaluru. It's my first time, so hopefully I'll keep it interesting this evening. I'm just going to talk a little bit about who I am and what we're doing in Manchester that might interest some of you. So, my name is Joseph. I work for Midas. We are the inward investment agency for the city of Greater Manchester in the northwest of England. We're funded through the Mayor's office. Our Mayor is Andy Burnham, a very popular political figure in the UK, some of you may know. And it's our role to jointly promote Manchester globally and to talk about all the great things that are happening there, the economic growth that we're seeing and the opportunities there for businesses like yours. And secondly, we help with practical support for any companies who want to understand more about what it would be like to set up a business in the UK, specifically in Manchester. We help with every step of the way to make it as easy and straightforward for you as possible to invest, to create jobs, and to be successful in the city. Everyone knows London. I'm sure a lot of you have been there. I've been there myself a number of times. But if you're looking at the UK for growth, Manchester is the place that you should be looking at. The next decade, we are set to go on a phenomenal growth trajectory in Manchester. We're already the UK's fastest growing economy. We're the top city for international investment in the UK outside of London, and we have been every year for the last 10 years. We're home to the UK's fastest growing tech sector. We've got a number of UK, US, Indian, and other global tech unicorns and scale-ups there in the city already that we work with really closely. And we're also the UK's most livable city. So in terms of that quality of life, in terms of that enjoyment outside of work, things to do around culture, around sport, Manchester is the place to be. Just going to talk about why that matters for some of you as investors and founders in the audience here. So our tech ecosystem is built for scale. We've got a £5.5 billion digital economy that's set to grow by a further £1 billion over the next 4 years. That growth is where the opportunities for you really lie. We've got the UK's largest AI cluster by the number of people working in the sector. So we've got almost 14,000 people in Manchester working in AI. I know talking to an Indian audience that might seem quite small, but in UK terms, it's actually quite significant. We've also got 1,000 researchers at the University of Manchester, which is one of the world's best universities, who are all working in research in new developments in artificial intelligence. And for any digital security investors in the audience, we've got the UK's digital agency for security, GCHQ, who set up their second headquarters in the UK, which means that we've got a really strong cybersecurity, digital defence, and associated clusters in the city that's really been growing over the last 10 years. In terms of cost, we are slightly cheaper than the Southeast, around 20% in terms of cost to hire and real estate. Real estate can be as much as 60% cheaper than prime areas of parts of London. But we really don't sell on cost alone. We sell on quality and the ability for you to be able to scale in a city that's growing really rapidly. We've got 120,000 students in the city. We've got around 2,500 Indian students. Indian students make up one of our biggest student groups in Manchester. And that diversity is almost sees us a bit of like a mini London. And I say mini London because you can find that diversity, but in a city that is extremely collaborative, and in a city that you can build a network, you can grow, you can find your clients a lot quicker than you would in some of the other global cities out there, and we are there to help you to do that. In terms of connectivity, we've got an airport that is the UK's busiest outside of London. We've got a direct flight going from Delhi every day, and we've got 3 flights a week going from Mumbai. In terms of Indian companies that are already there, we've got the likes of Tech Mahindra, we've got TCS, with ICICI Bank, State Bank of India, who are all hiring multiple people and being really successful. And even in terms of research partnerships, we've got Tata Steel, who have partnered with the University of Manchester on an advanced materials agreement, where they're going to be working with advanced alloys for lightweighting and materials science that they'll then bring back to India to apply to the aerospace and automotive industry. In terms of what we can do for you, so Midas is the support for you that makes the difference. We're fully funded by the city. We offer completely free support. We're there for every step of the way, whether you need more information about the city or whether you need an idea of where to start. How do we even look at beginning to put a presence in the UK? We're there, along with our partners at the Department of Business and Trade, to help you to do that. The sectors that we thrive in are the ones you'd expect. I'm head of our creative, digital and tech team. We also have a phenomenal life sciences team. I've got colleagues who work in advanced manufacturing and low carbon. We've got the UK's largest financial and professional services sector outside of London. And we also have a cyber and digital defense team as well. So if you're an Indian company that's looking for your next global base, and you're looking for somewhere that you can scale sustainably with the support on the ground and the expertise, come and speak to me after. If it's not me, it's colleagues who work over in Manchester or colleagues and partners at the Department of Business and Trade who can help you to be a success and to scale in the UK. Thanks to Pitchflix, and hopefully speak to many of you after this. Thank you.
Thank you. We will ask you to stay on the stage a bit, given that the UK Department of Business and Trade has completed all their pitches, if I can say pitches. And we will open up for audience questions. Any questions that anyone has to the UK Department of Business and Trade. We have investors and founders in the room. Anyone? Can I see some hands go up? Either for Geeta, either for Rajan, or for Joseph. Any questions? Then I'll squeeze in my question. You said that this is the first time you've come to Bangalore.
Yes.
Do you like our traffic?
I love it because I get to check my emails when I'm sat in traffic, so yeah.
Yeah, that's a good dead time used. But yeah, any serious questions from anyone? Anyone willing to ask anything? Okay, you can, as Joseph mentioned, you can definitely catch up after the session when we are having the networking, when investors will stay back and policymakers will stay back for around 30 minutes to engage with the audience. And with that, we will let you go, Joshua. There are no questions for you. I can't
Thank you
help.
for listening, everyone. Namaskara.
But a big round of applause for Joseph. Okay. So with that, we are now moving on to talk. So if we can have the change of slide. I know we have Manjula ma'am next. The next one. But she is busy organizing this event. She'll come back a little later. So we'll move on to the next one. And we will learn a little more about corporate venture capitalism from the MD of Accenture Ventures himself, Mr. Avnish. But before that, if I can take a moment, Avnish, to introduce you. So Avnish is someone with 33 years of experience. He has had experience in Army. He has worked with global companies in global locations and has come back to India to see how this ecosystem can grow. A person who really loves living a really meaningful life. And that also means that he really looks for the right criteria and the right kind of scale-ups, if I may put, because it's corporate venture capitalism, and that's what we'll be talking about. See, this session is for you to understand more of the investor's point of view, because that's less talked about. We know that founders have ideas, they go ahead and pitch to investors, but every investor is not meant for you by the thesis itself. They have their own rules that they need to play by, and their own commitments that they need to live up to. So pay attention to what are the different things being shared, and you can go back to Pitchflix and you can look up the video again, where we have 2,500 plus founders already registered, and you can register and again access it. But with that, a big round of applause to welcome this industry leader, the MD of Accenture Ventures, Mr. Avnish Savarwal. Yeah. So yeah, this works. And this goes back. This goes forward.
Time starts now.
You can take your time.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Avnish, lead Accenture Ventures. I'll quickly go through. I have 4 minutes, so try and make most of it. In terms of what we are looking for, there are a few slides, but I can tell you what we are looking for. I've been accused of a lot of things in life. Ambiguity is not one of them. So we are pretty clear in terms of the requirements of the startup. So first of all, our focus is on B2B, growth stage, deep tech. All right, all the three words are important. B2B, growth stage, deep tech. In terms of what growth stage means for us, if you want to work with a startup, then it should be about $1 million plus ARR. And in terms of our fund, which is our project Spotlight, through which we make investments, as you can see what we are looking for there. But the focus is that the technology needs to be very disruptive, right? It should have the potential to disrupt an entire industry. It should be protected by IP and patents. And it should have the ability to scale. Accenture is a very big organization, and so are our clients. So we want to make sure that the technology and the startup with which we are working with or investing in has the ability to scale. And obviously, we are very focused on the entrepreneur and the team. So from that perspective, the kind of startups which we are looking for are what we call 2-inch wide and 20-inch deep, which means that they have real depth in terms of what they are doing. and they are probably the industry standard in that. So these are some of the startups which we have already invested in, just to give you an idea of the kind of companies we are interested, right? So if you, for example, look at data and Gen AI, that's one of our core focus areas, what we call the digital core. Digital core consists of data, AI, cyber security, platforms, and cloud. These are the 5 top areas of focus for Accenture Ventures, digital core. Then you see space. We invested in an Indian startup called Pixel. Some of you would have heard about Pixel. That's a very, very proud investment from us in terms of what is going on in the space ecosystem in India. Next-gen computing is very, very important as well. And then if you go ahead, you will see some of the investments which we have done. Before that, sorry, I just wanted to mention one more, which we have done. Yeah, you can see here Lizer. Just below data, it's Lizer. This is our latest investment in Gen AI, focused on financial services. This is an autonomous AI startup which we have invested in from India. All right, then you can see some of the financial services, life sciences, cloud, and workforce transformation. We are very interested in learning and development as well. Some days back, some months back, we had acquired a company called Udacity, and based on that, we have come up with a new business called LearnVantage in Accenture. So we're very interested to see if there are pure learning and development startups focused on AI and similar kind of technologies. So yeah, that's our focus. I assume I am still in time. But if you want to get in touch with Accenture Ventures, you are welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn or drop me an email. Thank you for your time. Thank you. I'm happy to take any question from the startups here in terms of what we are looking for and anything else you want to ask me.
Any questions for Avnish from anyone?
How many startups are there here? Okay, everything is clear? Crystal clear? No? You have a question?
That's a tough question to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone had a question? Anyone has a question for Avnish? This is your chance to ask a question about Accenture Ventures to Avnish.
That's my email, and you can write to me on that.
If you're a startup looking up for investment at some stage and you want to know what stage you need to reach, raise your hand now.
See, I didn't talk about our ticket size. We can invest anywhere from 2 million to 50 million, depending upon where you are. Okay, so we do early stage as well as late stage or growth stage, as we call it.
You have a question?
Pre-revenue side, pre-revenue.
No, we don't touch pre-revenue. 0 to 1 is not in Accenture's DNA. We just don't know what to do with such startups, unfortunately.
That's the reason this session helps you. So you need to scale up to the next stage so that... Tell your name and then...
Sorry, I can't hear you.
All right. So my name is Surya, and I'm from a startup which is not exactly like the mainstream ones. We are into nature tech or agri-tech or even nature consulting. How would we, would you guys still be interested to invest in companies such as this?
See, that's not part of the areas in which we are invested. And if you're talking about consulting, I would assume there is some services involved, right? Accenture does not work or invest in any services companies. It has to be product, platform, and IP. That's it.
What if there is a platform that is going to be coming up based upon the investment value?
Yeah, we can look at it after you have reached 1 million revenue.
Okay, so that was a discussion about the areas of investment and the ways investment will be useful. And with that, I would wish Avnish, thank you. Thank you for standing there, for understanding my cue. Thanks a lot. I'm glad we have started asking questions. See, this is your chance. This stage is set for you to ask questions of the right kind. If you actually are serious about your startup and you want to see it grow. So do not miss this opportunity. This could be once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay? So with that, we move on to our next. Can we have the slides back? Yeah, we'll just the previous one. Okay, anyway, okay, I'll just leave the joke to myself. But okay, we have Xfinity Ventures represented by the Associate Vice President, Arundhati, and she'll be telling us about the areas that they invest in and the stages that they invest in. And sir, you were asking about pre-seed, may or may not be relevant, but definitely the bars come a little more when you're in the 1 to 10 journey maybe, or I'll let Arundhati talk more about it. So please listen to this, and please put your hands together for Arundhati. We are actually live streaming this across the globe. My London team is watching this, and they're like, people in India don't clap? This is literally the question that I've got. Is it that we Indians don't clap? We don't applaud people? Yeah, Arundhati? This is the clicker. This goes forward, this goes backward. Okay. Thank you.
Yellarigu namaskara. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm very happy to be here at the Bengaluru Tech Summit and share a little bit about Xfinity Ventures and why we do what we do. So our journey started way back in 2013 when we had ex-CXOs of companies like Infosys and Wipro, gentlemen who'd actually put IT on the global stage and scaled it up, and they wanted to pour that journey of theirs and help the next generation of entrepreneurs scale their companies. And so they founded Xfinity Ventures. We invest exclusively in B2B technology companies across. We do SaaS, obviously led by AI, enterprise technology, and deep technology as well. And this has been the foundation of our investment thesis for years, to work with disruptive founders who are really working and building cutting-edge technology startups. We've backed nearly 40 companies, gone through 3 funds, and deployed over $130 million of capital. And throughout this journey, our commitment has been to back thesis-driven founders, and going forward as well, it will remain so as we've launched our 4th fund. Now, these are some of our investment themes, and we've covered investments across all of these themes, as I mentioned, investing primarily in pre-Series A to Series A companies. We generally like to see some revenue traction, but when it comes to deep technology companies, of course, that's not required, and we would come in at the earlier stages there as well. In terms of check sizes, our current check sizes are anywhere between 500K to about $3.5 million US dollars, with average check sizes of $1.5 million. And in our upcoming fund, we would really love to look at companies building in quantum computing and space technology. We haven't gotten to back companies in those spaces yet, and those are very, very interesting to us. Now, I'd like to quickly touch upon some of our portfolio companies. We have companies that work with industry leaders across the globe, and that is something that we're very proud of, because Xfinity was built on the thesis that Indian technology is built for the world. It is global standard, and we see it as a validation that industry leaders from all across the globe work with our companies. We have a company called Kinara, which was recently acquired by NXP Semiconductors for $300 million, and that's the first deep tech exit that's happened in India. And that's something we're very proud of, because in our 10-year journey, we've seen how difficult it is for deep tech startups to scale. And as an ecosystem, we've often heard that liquidity is an issue in India, follow-on funding is difficult, and exits are difficult. And we believe that this is a watershed moment, because we now have another very solid avenue for exits other than IPOs, which is mergers and acquisitions. And we're very proud to back breakthrough innovation, and these companies represent the kind of founder ambition that we're excited to back as part of Xfinity. Now, as I've mentioned, we've always believed that Indian technology has the power to address the world's toughest problems, and the founders we back are addressing exactly those critical challenges. Many of them also contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. For example, we have a company called Chara Motors, building next-generation electric motors that reduce reliance on rare earth materials and make clean energy solutions more accessible. We have a company called Aviros, powering safe and smarter cities through its AI-driven video analytics platforms in major metro cities across India is as much data as I can give you. And we have another company called Ati Motors, reimagining industrial automation with fully electric autonomous vehicles. Hopefully, some of you today can join this list of our incredible portfolio companies. And it's very inspiring for us to see these solutions adopted by major companies across continents, truly affirming the broader significance and reach of technology that's built in India. As a team, Xfinity at its very DNA and core, we are operator-focused. We are partners who understand the reality of building and scaling businesses from the ground up. We believe in being hands-on throughout the journey, working side by side with our founders as they navigate key decisions, overcome setbacks, and pursue bold growth. Our commitment is to add value that goes way beyond capital, whether it's strategizing on product, helping unlock business development opportunities, or rolling up our sleeves in the trenches. And we aim to be the kind of partners that founders can truly rely on in their scaling journey. With that, I think I must be at the end of my time. So thank you again for your time, and please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to connect with any of you later today or at another point in time.
And we'll take some questions right now. Any questions for Arundhati? She talked about semicons, she talked about deep tech. Any questions for Arundhati? Looks like people will connect with you.
So do you support early stage startups?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
And cyber security is in your portfolio?
Yes, it's a key focus area for us going forward.
Okay.
And we do have companies in our portfolio that build in cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Impact and sustainability is not there in your radar.
Impact and sustainability is definitely on our radar. I don't think we can call ourselves a fund in this day and age if that's not a focus area for us. However, we believe in supporting technologies that do that as one of its outcomes. We wouldn't say that that is a specific focus area. So we have companies like your Ati Motors, Chara Motors, that are building companies that have sustainability outcomes.
That's a pseudo-sustainability.
Not necessarily. Chara Motors is a company that's doing something very important, reducing our reliance on rare earth materials. And it does contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals as well. And we have companies, each of them will be, I think we'll cover all the SDGs that the UN has put forth. It's not pseudo. I think they're making impact in a very meaningful way.
Hi Arundhati, Nikita here. So we are building into supply chain optimization in the healthcare space, and we're powering it with AI. It also involves deep tech, expertise. We have traction, but we are still building the product. So would you all be interested in investing in such an early stage startup?
We would definitely be happy to chat and learn a little bit more about it. It sounds like you're a bit on the earlier side, but we often speak to companies at this stage, develop the relationships, and then come in at a later point in time.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hi. Hi. So I'm Rajni. So we had built a low-code, no-code platform where we were able to build software between 14 days to 45 days. We have done that, and from then we have moved to the deep tech part where even about the cloud solutioning part, we have even reduced the timing and the cost reduction for the same. So we would like to connect with you and see how we can work on that, because we are looking for, in this scaling part. Yeah.
Please drop me an email or, come find me afterwards. I'm happy to talk.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Hi, Arundhati. Yeah, hi, I'm Dinesh. And I've been thinking of something that we should be able to predict the future in some way, to some extent. That is in terms of risk assessment. With past data, and say for example, accident risk. Let's say you're flying or you're going by train, and we should be able to predict the accident risk or assess and evaluate how much risk there is at a particular time. If you're traveling when it is raining or when there is a storm or something like that. So we should be able to quantify that risk, right? So I've been thinking something like this, and say even trigger warning terror risk, okay? Even analyzing geopolitics and all that. That we can actually do with data, that we have AI, so we can do that, right? So how do you think this would feature in you, if you're to take it forward? And let's say if this is quantified, an IRCTC or Redbus or Abibus or something like that, that can actually, for each and every travel, we can assess the risk inherent in that travel. Let's say, for example, accident risk is like 1 out of 10. And this can actually become part of the regulation going forward, because we actually travel through a lot of uncertainty, right? Every moment is uncertain. And we can try to make it certain as much as possible. So what do you think about this idea? And do you think this can be taken forward?
It's interesting. If you're looking to build it out as a enterprise solution, I think it could be something that fits into our thesis potentially at a slightly later stage. But maybe once you've developed it, I'm happy to chat about it.
And this can be actually integrated with every platform, like say for IRCTC,
sure.
And online flight booking and everything. Sure. And this can even become mandatory. All types of risk analyzed, and and this can actually impact the price as well. Like when there is high risk, the price will be lower, and when there is low risk, the price will be higher, right? So this can actually be commercially viable as well. Commercially, it can help the at the commercial part. In the commercial part, it can help, as well as in actually making people comfortable, knowing the amount of risk
Can you take it up in networking? We'll move ahead, and if you want to answer, you can answer it, Arundhati, or we are comfortable taking it.
I'm happy to take this up.
Yeah. Sure. This is the last question for this speaker, but we want to move ahead to the other speaker.
Okay, Hi Arundhati. My name is Divya Singh, and we have a deep tech startup called Cognitva.ai. We're making an innovation product where ideas can be turned into product through our software that we have developed. So I just wanted to know, what is the minimum revenue that you guys look for in a startup to invest?
We don't have a minimum revenue set in stone. We take it as a case-by-case basis. For companies that are building in extremely deep tech spaces, like in edge computing and something like that, we will come in pre-revenue also. For companies that are in more of the enterprise software, AI SaaS kind of a space, we will maybe come in post 500K to $1 million revenue. But again, it depends on a case-by-case basis, how much is being raised, what is the specific vertical that you're building in. It's not really set in stone that unless you hit a certain revenue, only then come and talk to us. We are happy to talk. And like I said, build the relationship, and we can come in at a later point also.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Arundhati, for such a lovely share that our audience associated with also. And here are gift hampers from Grammar Foods, Millie Pops, and a gift box. Yeah, so you've seen me on stage enough number of times. I think you've acclimatized to my voice if you're a real audience sitting here and not roaming around. Okay, with that, we understand that investment is important, but your network is also important, right? The kind of people you network with and who advocates for you and tells, hey, this is a startup you need to look into, this is a founder you can any day rely on, is super important. And that is exactly what Tech India advocates and global tech advocates do. They are our supporters, just as UKDBT is, in getting Rev off the ground. And for that, allow me to welcome Praveen, CEO of InSource and Multi-Recruit, and also a part of Tech India Advocates, on the stage to talk more about what you can do to improve your advocacy network and to reach to the right people at the right time who can connect you on the other side in other countries also to people who can enable you. With that, over to you, Praveen.
Thank you, Sikta. Good evening and namaskara, Bangalore. You must be wondering why I'm calling Bangalore, but it was earlier to Bengaluru because I'm a Bangalore-born boy. So my name is Praveen, and I'm the co-founder of Multi-Recruit and InSource India. To introduce Multi-Recruit, we are a recruitment, AI-based recruitment firm. We work with SMBs, GCCs, and startups across the world and help them build their talent. And at InSource India, we help companies, especially global SMEs, to enter, set up, and scale in India. So today, I'm here to represent TIA, called Tech India Advocates, a community where I've been a member for over 2 years. What is TIA? Tech India Advocates is a UK-based, not-for-profit advocacy platform committed to supporting the rapid growth of technology and investment across the UK and India. It was set up in 2021 by Ani Karprekar and Alf Malhotra in the UK. They both sit out of the UK, but they are very deeply connected to India. They're supported by a fantastic global advisory board of Indian and UK leaders, one of whom we have here in the room, Mr. Avinash Sabharwal. He's a part of TIA as well. Now, TIA is not your typical networking group. TIA, it's about not exchanging cards or doing casual meetups. It operates like a think tank at a policy and industry level. The idea is to influence conversations that matter, to shape agenda-setting events, and to champion the story of New India on global platforms. TIA is a sibling network of the larger global tech advocates, which was started by Rush Shaw in London back in 2013. Today, Global Tech Advocates has over 30,000 tech advocates across more than 40 countries. And the best part, both TIA and GTA are completely voluntary, open source communities. There are no membership fees. If you follow the work, take part in events, support the mission, you are part of the community. And that's really the beauty of it. Tech India Advocates gives us all a common brand to use whenever we're pushing India's tech ecosystem on the world stage. Everyone contributes voluntarily, not full-time, because we all believe in the growth of the industry. TIA collaborates with all the major organizations like CII, FICCI, NASSCOM. But while these bodies mainly work with larger organizations, TIA focuses on scale-ups and companies trying to grow internationally, especially in the tech sector. The focus is really on ethos and impact and on building genuine bridges between India's tech ecosystem and the global one. In the last 5 years, Tech India Advocates has been part of several key initiatives, including a major summit in Bengaluru where 40 leaders from 25 countries came to India just to understand the tech ecosystem here. That's the level of engagement what Tia drives. On a personal note, Ani and Tia have played a big role in my own journey establishing InSource India in the UK. Through this network, I've met some incredible leaders, founders, investors and policymakers from different parts of the world. And through TIA, InSource India is now championing the concept of micro GCCs, which is something I'm extremely passionate about. Just recently, we did a webinar with Tech UK on the rise of micro GCCs in India. It was a very well received webinar, and it showed how much interest there is in this space. So what's next for you if you want to connect with Tia? Very simple. Follow Tech India Advocates on social media, get involved, join the conversations, and if you're someone who wants to build global connections or be part of the India story at a global level, then Tia is absolutely the right network for you. If you'd like to know more, let's talk offline. I'll be happy to introduce you to the founders of Tia. Thank you very much. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Praveen? Anyone wants to connect to Tech India Advocates? Even I am a member of Tech India Advocates. Avnish is a advisory council person, and Praveen has been a long-time member also. So any questions about how to connect to the network or when will it be useful? I'm just giving cues. I have a question.
Sure.
Say I'm a founder, and I have a company that is making around 1 million over here, but it's established in the Indian market, and I want to grow in UK and maybe in Americas. What and how can I reach out to you, Praveen?
So apart from funding, Tech India Advocates gives you the network of connections, connects you to the right network in the UK. So there is no funding what Tech India Advocates does. It's just about putting you across to the right network.
So how do I know who's the right network person? Like if I reach out to you, what will be my next connects?
So I'll be happy to put you across to Ani and Af Malhotra, who are the co-founders of Tech India Advocates, and they'll be the best to guide you in your domain.
Lovely, sure. So with that, a big round of applause to Praveen. And guys, a big round of applause, please. It's being live streamed across the globe. They should know that Indians can clap and applause, and they're loud people in a good way. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Praveen. And we have a hamper from Grama Foods. Thank you so much, Praveen. So that was Tech India Advocates for you. We will understand again from a VC, a very successful and VC that has existed even before it was a hype to invest and grow companies. It is a pretty mature VC in India, and that is Unicorn India Ventures. We have Pulkit Malhotra representing Unicorn India Ventures here. A big round of applause for Pulkit Malhotra. And let's listen the investor point of view here as to what are they looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Pulkit here from Unicorn India Ventures. We are an early stage fund based out of Bombay. We typically invest in the range of $1 to $2 million. That is our typical check size. In terms of the stage, we typically come in at the pre-series A seed stage. The domain where we invest in is B2B deep tech. That's the broad domain where we kind of invest in. So our first fund was established in 2015-16. We had few successful companies out of fund one, like Open Bank, which came on to become the 100th unicorn of India. We had Smart Coin as one of the successful investments. Then we launched our second fund in 2020 of around $32 million. And our fund one was named one of the best performing funds vintages around 2020. We are right now closing our third fund of around $120 billion. We'll announce the final close by December. In terms of the thesis, the broad thesis can be divided into three buckets. One is India for India, the other bucket is India for the world, and the third bucket is Make in India. Our first fund was very India for India focused, where we were seeing the digital rails in India being set up back in 2014. Our fund two was very India for the world focused, where we backed a lot of SaaS companies coming out of fund two. And our fund three is very deep tech focused, Make in India focused fund. But we have a mixture of all these three themes in our fund three. So let's talk a bit more about the fund three. In the Make in India bucket, we have companies in nanotechnology, building nanotechnology-based drug application technology. We have companies in the underwater autonomous rover space. We have a company in the B2B manufacturing space, semiconductor, Netra Semi is one of our investments in the fabless chip manufacturing space. Orbited in space tech is a satellite refueling company. Bonvi is a high terrain drone company based out of Bhubaneswar. Then in the India for World category, we have AuraShore, which provides environmental data. It's in the climate tech space. Then we have Vodex in the Gen AI space. They provide conversational voice bots. Then we have Deep Algorithm in the cybersecurity space. Clues is another of our recent investments in the private cloud market. In the India for India bucket, we have investments in health tech called as Cube Health. We have Zeltex, and then we have PayLocal, which is a WhatsApp-based payment service provider. Going deeper into our approach, so basically we look for early signs of product market fit in the company. We typically want to be the first institutional investors into companies we back. We back a lot of companies based out of tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So around 60% of our portfolio are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We have companies based out of Trivandrum, Riva, Kochi, Pune, Bhubaneswar, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Kharagpur, Hyderabad, and around 28 companies are based out of tier 2 cities, and around 14 companies are based out of tier 1 cities. In terms of thesis, we have already looked at very deep tech heavy. B2B is our focus area, and we try to actively value add in all aspects of building a business for our companies. Any questions you guys have, happy to answer that.
Any questions for Pulkit? He talked about his entire portfolio and what kind of companies they invest in. If no one else puts up their hand, then I'll come to you. Let me give a fair chance to whatever audience we have in the room. Please call out your name and ask your question.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. Super interesting. So I'm one of the co-founders from an agri-tech company. So I was wondering if you are...
Sorry, can you repeat that part?
Oh, sorry, I think I hold it wrong.
Yeah.
So we are an agri-tech company focusing on AI for agriculture, mainly in the robotics drone space.
Okay.
Is this an area you're interested in investing in, as it's kind of a slow developing but very scalable market?
Right, so agri-tech is one area we are actively looking to invest in. So happy to have a chat after the thing. Yeah.
We'll definitely catch up with you later. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
So someone got his next meeting. Who else wants to get their next meeting with Pulkit? Anyone have a question? So again, if no one else raises the hand, I'll come back to you. Okay, you're lucky.
Hi, sir. I'm Venkat from Swarm Technologies. It's a 3-year-old startup. When we started this, our promise was to our clients that we could be able to build a MVP in 14 days, any software, and enterprise application in 45 days. We achieved that and all our clients were happy. But then the problem started that, on a recurring cost, month on month, the cloud capacity, maintain and everything was a huge headache for them to, as part of a runway. Then they came to us and then asked that is there anything that we can do. So on that way of exploring that, how can we reduce our month-on-month recurring cost on cloud computing, support and all those things, we found a way, we found an AI. It is not an artificial intelligence, it's an architectural intelligence where we could be able to reduce the cloud cost and support cost and everything to a 30%.
Right.
So we don't have any revenue on this product. This is called TimeBot. Earlier our software company called Swarm, it's a startup Swarm. So with that we were doing that low-code, no-code platform and software building.
Right.
But with this, we're just piloting with a couple of products. So
so do you reduce the cost on the public cloud or do you provide them a private cloud to reduce the
both,
cost?
sir.
Both.
Both.
Okay. I'm happy to have a chat. So we have one investment in this space called as Clues. So they are providing a private cloud for enterprise.
Okay.
So happy to have a chat with you and understand, if you can work with them or you can have a chat with them, something like that.
Okay, sir. But the result of this too is like, okay, our carbon emissions get reduced to 30 to 40%, like from 100%. That is one of an additional advantage with this innovation.
Understood. Understood. Happy to have a chat after that.
Thank you so much. We'll get you connected.
Thank you.
In the interest of time, we'll take it later on. So, Pulkit, I'll still squeeze in one question.
Yeah.
How does it feel to stand there and be asked questions instead of being the person who asks questions?
No, it's always great to interact with founders, and from their questions, we are kind of trying to understand what and where we can add value. So it's definitely great to hear from them always. Yeah. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much for coming on board to Rev and for sharing your point of view. And here is our gift hamper from Grama Foods. So that was Unicorn India Ventures for you. Can we switch to the next slide? We have Eximus Ventures and we have Siddharth from Eximus Ventures. They are actually primarily based out of Gurgaon. And Siddharth and I connected last moment, but he was very kind to accept our offer and say that I will do it because I'm the only person holding the fort in Bangalore today. So here we have Siddharth from Eximus Ventures to talk about their fund thesis, their fund strategy, and what they are looking for in founders. And after that, we'll open up for a couple of more questions. Over to you, Siddharth. A big round of applause, please. A little more.
Hello. Awesome. Thanks for having me. Really excited to talk to you. So I'm Siddharth. I'm a senior analyst here at Eximus. And the way we define ourselves is we're one of the very few dedicated pre-seed and sector-differentiated funds in India. And the way we define pre-seed is typically not at an idea stage, but early product, pre-product market fit, early traction. And that's where we are excited to back founders. So I primarily look at our fintech investments, but as a fund, we invest across three sectors: fintech, consumer, and AI SaaS. So we're one of the very few people who want to back founders at the earliest stage. Now, we've picked fintech, consumer, and AI SaaS primarily because as a fund, we believe we have a right to win here. We have a right to invest here, and we've been investing in companies in these sectors over the past 5 years. So far, we invested in 31 companies, and we have this scar tissue to see what works, what doesn't work. And it's also where we can add value to our portfolio, whether that is in customer introductions, partnerships, or even helping them with their fundraising journey. So currently, we're looking out of our Fund 2. Fund 2 is a $30 million fund where we're looking to make between 25 to 30 investments with an average check size of 500,000 all the way up to $1 million. We also want to reserve 50% of the fund to invest in our follow-on for our fund winners. Now, in India, there's no better time to invest, right? Intelligence is getting democratized, and AI is enabling all sorts of founders and operators to build incredible products. And so, culturally also, we're seeing that the risk appetite for founders and operators has gone up. So students right out of college, instead of going to a job, they're able to take that plunge into entrepreneurship. Founders who have probably built in the past but not succeeded are building again. And the ecosystem is much more supportive of founders now. And as a result, we are seeing a huge influx of founders. These are first-time founders straight out of a college. These could also be seasoned operators who have experience and want to take that plunge into entrepreneurship. And so as a fund, what we've seen is that on the supply side, most of the funds were looking at more later stage round, more advanced companies. And as a fund, we wanted to play, and we saw white space where we could back companies at the earliest stage and add value primarily in the sectors that we focus on. Now, since 2021, we've backed over 31 companies, and we've had a chance to work with some stellar founders building really incredible companies. I'll highlight a few for you. One of them is JAR. We're invested in JAR at the earliest stages, and they have now become, as you know, one of the biggest digital goal savings platform in India, with backing from Tiger Global. We've also invested in the likes of Stan, which is now India's largest gaming and creator community, and has beaten international players like Discord in India as well. We also backed fintech companies like Skydo, which is essentially solving for a very pressing problem of global payments for Indian companies. And we've seen them over the past 4 years building incredible customers with very, very sticky customer base. We also invested in the likes of WegaPay, who are building credit card infrastructure for the credit-hungry customers in India. Now, from a team perspective, Eximius is led by two co-founders, Pearl and Preeti. Both have over a decade years of experience building companies of their own, as well as working in large-scale venture capital firms and private equity firms. As a team, they're supported by a 10-member team spread across investment, platform, and portfolio. We're all actively working to add value to the founders that we back. Now, post-investment, we add a lot of value to our portfolio, primarily in three broad ways. One, we help them getting access to customers. So through our network, we are able to help them access harder to reach customers, start with warm introductions. And we've done that with some of our portfolios like QPilot, where we have helped them access advisors to help them distribute. At the same time, we work very closely in their fundraising journey. We help them identify strategic investors, whether that is locally or strategic investors. We also work with them to identify strategic investors internationally to find customers and expand. But apart from this, we also have involved quite experienced operators who work with us as venture partners and advisors. So they are always available to our portfolio, whether that is helping in hiring, in GTM, in analyzing your tech, or even helping you with hiring the right kind of talent. They're always available to help you out. Now, we looked at these sectors, fintech, consumer, and some of the tailwinds that we're looking at, especially from fintech, is how we can enable more underserved communities get access to credit. We're also seeing incredible infrastructure being built to help underserved communities, and we're also seeing new technology enabling next generation of payments. In consumer, we are a very vibrant and diverse community. So we are seeing incredible founders build products that are enabling more vernacular customizations. And of course, with the advent of quick commerce, we're also seeing very vertical specific quick commerce solutions in the market. But in enterprise SaaS, we're also seeing products that are augmenting labor. So we are a very service-heavy industry. So people are building AI services as a software, which is actually adding value to the existing labor force. At the same time, we're also looking at founders building system of agents that are not replacing labor, but more augmenting labor and actually actively increasing the productivity of the large labor force that we have. And so we're continuing to see how founders are able to carve out new white spaces. And that's what makes us very excited to go all in on India. And we want to be that first check for that next generation of entrepreneurs building in India, for India, and building in India for the globe. Thank you. So if you want to reach out to us, you can scan the QR code, and we'll be happy to have a chat. I think there are a couple of hands raised, yeah.
Hi, I see most of your investments are into fintech. Why aren't you looking at health tech?
Yeah, good question. So we've invested in one of the companies called Eka Care, which is very early in the healthcare space. And again, like I said, right, our primary focus is in fintech, consumer, and AI SaaS. And we want to play in spaces where we understand these industries deeply and we can add value. Now, healthcare as a space, we don't have a strong thesis because we don't understand the space truly well. But it's definitely an exciting space in India, and we're seeing very vertical specific solutions solving for healthcare. So it's a process of us building our thesis on the side, at the same time trying to identify interesting white space and back them. So if you look at our portfolio, about 50% of our investments are in the fintech space. We are definitely fintech heavy, but we do look at least from fund two to expand that to enterprise AI and consumer tech as well.
So is health tech of interest?
Yeah, there's, again, we're looking at healthcare from SaaS perspective.
Yes, a SaaS backed up with AI in supply chain.
Yes, that's something that we can definitely look into, yeah.
Maybe we can connect.
For sure.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Apurv, and I'm founder of Someone with AI Labs. My question is slightly philosophical, and maybe Arundhati can also take a pitch on that. How do VCs look at the age of the founders as one of the factors? So would you back an early guy with less experience, or an older guy with more experience coming out of, say, a job, getting into a startup or something? So what is the thought process around that?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's very relevant also, right? And the simple answer for that is it's not that straightforward, right? We do look at experienced founders because if, let's say, someone's building has worked about 10, 20 years in the FinServ space, and if they're building in the same space, that experience translates into a lot of things when they eventually build. Right? So if they're building in fintech, they'll have the right kind of connections. They'll have that deep understanding of the industry, where it is currently and where it is going to go in the next 5 to 10 years. So experience plays a great role there in certain industries. But in other industries, we also look at younger people because they are more scrappy. They're able to take their current funds, however small it is, and find, in India we say jugaad, find the best ways to utilize their money and build. Right? So it's a mix of both. Are you able to use your current experience to build something valuable in that same space? Or are you scrappy enough to go to find out of the box solutions to build in the same space? So there's no one size fit all. We prefer, of course, experienced founders because they have the scar tissue of building, working, and that deep experience, and that translates into when they build and the clarity of thought. Whereas younger founders are able to try different things, go that extra mile, which sometimes maybe even experienced founders don't. So it's a mix of the two. We look at the depth of the problem statement and how scrappy they are in finding the best way to solve for the same.
I hope that answers your question, and you can definitely take it ahead in the conversation in interest of time, because we also want to have a little bit of networking. So for that, thank you so much, Siddharth. And here is your gift from Grama Foods. And with that, we'll move on to our next speaker. We had heard from Accenture Ventures, which is a corporate venture capital. Now we'll hear from a Japanese firm's venture capital arm, Saison Capital. And we have Uday representing them. Over to you, Uday. You'll have to let me know if your mic is working. I can give you this one.
Yeah, I think it's working. Great.
Great, it's back.
It is back. Awesome. Good evening, guys. I know it's been quite a long sort of session with multiple brilliant folks before me, but here I am, another corporate venture capital. So we're Saison Capital. We're a Japanese single LP bagged CVC, corporate venture capital arm of Credit Saison. That's a Tokyo-listed financial institution in Japan, one of the largest credit card issuers there with about $30 billion in AUM. For us, it's an own balance sheet fund itself. So right from the from front. For us, we have presence across multiple geographies. So India is one of them, but we've also been in Southeast Asia, Africa, and most recently in Latin America, in Brazil and Mexico. We've got separate entities as well. So capital On the equity side is one, but we also do debt funding across geographies. This is just a snapshot of our presence across different geographies. In India, for example, Saison Capital looks at equity investments, and Credit Saison, which is the NBFC arm, they look at debt. So they do about wholesale lending and co-lending with about a 20,000 crore book. For us, what do we do, right? I think everyone who has been here, definitely capital is the ammo that all of the founders require. But what can be given apart from that? The other help that can be given for us, where we come in, apart from capital support, the idea is, of course, to help in the cross-border GTM strategy as well, be it the India-Japan corridor or the India and other cross-border corridors where we are present in. We also help in debt raising abilities. So it's a financial services focused fund itself, wherein we look at entities operating primarily in the fintech domain, which is why debt raising forms a key component as well. Apart from that, we're also helping in hiring and late stage funding requirements. This is what the fund looks like. We've historically been operators ourselves. The partners, Visa and Chenin, they're based out of Singapore. Visa was one of the early members at Grofers, now known as Blinkit, and Chenin ran his own startup in Indonesia. Then we have my counterpart Ziheng, who's based out of Brazil and looks at Brazil, and I'm based out of India, and I look at the India geography. Historically, like I said, all operating experience throughout. From a sector focus, as I was mentioning, right? So at a stage standpoint, we do pre-seed and Series A. Check sizes typically ranges up to $3 million for about a 5 to 15% ownership. No hard constraints there, but some sort of guardrails for us to come in. On a sector side, it's mostly fintech focus itself. So financial services, embedded finance, fintech infra and SaaS. This is what we look at. Just a very quick snapshot of our portfolio as well. So in the financial services domain, we've done RuPay, which is now known as Good Score. One Bank, With Your Tech, Zinc Money, and Tech Fino. In the embedded finance, we did Showroom B2B. Showroom B2B is in fact a B2B marketplace for fashion segment, but there, of course, again, there's a fintech angle in the supply chain financing aspect. In the fintech infra and SaaS segment, we've done MylaPay, Binox, Inkle, DonorPay, and StepChange. And the idea is, of course, how can we help these also scale cross-border? For example, StepChange is someone that we work quite actively to help them get their boots on ground in Japan, similar with MylaPay as well. Yeah, that's me. Happy to connect with you guys, async, post this, and of course, if you have any questions, happy to answer that as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Uday. Okay. Who has a question? This is an early stage investment. You might want to understand how early, but early stage investment by a CVC. Any questions from any founders? There in the end, Vikram. Anyone who's outside the barricade wants to ask a question, you'll have to come in.
Hello. Hello. Hi. We have a B2B pre-seed company at the moment. So we just wanted to check if you're interested in investing.
I'm sorry, did you say P2P or B2B?
B2B, sorry.
B2B, got it, yeah.
B2B. So it is based on AI, and we have our own platform wherein other enterprises will be able to build their own AI solutions. So it's a one-of-a-kind AI platform.
What solutions are you guys focusing on?
It is mainly on building agentic AI solutions or Gen AI solutions. It provides a platform which includes SDK as well as our own GPT and so on.
Got it. Happy to explore, but like I said, the main focus is on the fintech side. But yeah, happy to chat and see if there's a financial services angle to that as well.
Sure. Thank you.
We have an investor asking an investor.
Sure, yeah, that's always fun.
Hi, Uday. I would really love to understand how you plan to navigate regulatory challenges when you're investing in this space in India.
No, I think financial services is one of the most heavily regulated segments, right? With the regulator coming down hard and bunch of large enterprises also going belly up. So definitely something that you need to be wary of. For us in the financial services, like I'd shown, right, the most recent investment that we did was TechFino, which is a NBFC in the lab segment. So founder pedigree definitely makes a big difference there. These are all career bankers who've spent the better part of their lives just around the regulatory hurdles and building their careers in that, and now looking at building in the embassy segment. So I think founder pedigree is definitely important. Second is more on, if it's more on the tech first, fin second angle, like a Mila Pay, then of course as well, whether these guys have had some exposure to financial services industry and on the compliance side as well, whether they've worked in directly or within the team, they've got people who worked on the financial services compliance. That becomes very important. And yeah, I think if you're not regulatory kosher from day zero, definitely it's a recipe for disaster steady state. So if you're building in fintech, make sure that you are 100% on compliance, on regulation, even if it means building slightly slowly, but compliance, compliance, compliance.
Thank you so much, Uday.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot. And one request, there are some folks who are not able to access your QR code. Looks like they're not able to scan.
No, mind.
So,
I'll just share my contact separately.
yep, that would help. Yeah, sure. Thank you. We have a gift hamper for you from Grama Foods. Healthy food is requirement of a healthy founder and a healthy investor also. Okay, moving on. We have someone who has been an investor for a long time. I did confuse him for the first time to be someone else. Sometimes the wires in my brain interconnect. But here we have Kailash from Idea Springs to talk about his venture capital and what they are investing in. So over to you, Kailash. A big round of applause, please, keeping the energy up. Yes, we are coming towards the end, but that means networking is coming up, so yeah.
So I am between you and the evening coffee, I'm guessing, so I'll keep it short. But thank you so much, and the team around Pitchflix for putting this together. I'm a partner at Idea Spring Capital. We are one of India's earliest venture capital firm focused on product innovation coming from India for the world, right? Which means focusing on B2B focused product and technology platforms which are born in India with global relevance. And we come at a stage where the company has built a demonstrable product for the clients. About 33 companies that we have invested in the last 2 funds that we have managed and we continue to manage have come at pre-revenue, because this is a question that I see coming in from the audience. We are, as we speak, raising the 3rd fund in the Idea Spring series. This will be the largest fund till date from the firm. And we're looking at a corpus of close to 750 crores. We are looking to invest in 20 companies in the next 4 to 5 years at this point in time. Our starting checks range from about 12 to 15 crores, which is about $1.5 to $2 million. We keep about 25 to 30 crores in reserve for the next 2 or 3 rounds to come. What we bring to table is, as a team, is a set of founders and partners and investment team which brings in strong founding and operating background. We are a set of individuals who have founded companies, operated companies, built technology platforms from grounds up for the global market, have operated companies which have adopted technology and scaled using technology platforms in global arena, and have exited companies at a massive scale, right? So this is what we bring to table, and we are very passionate about the spaces that we look for. Like I said, we are a very technology-focused investor. So the themes that we invest in have a very strong technology IP angle to it. So 2/3 of our focus is actually deep tech, right? And the 3 areas that we invest in, and I'll come to that each of them, but this broadly captures the DNA that we bring to table. Close to 100 investments between the 4 of us and the investment team that we have at this point in time. And with a deep domain expertise in these 3 areas that we form the core part of our thesis. One is enterprise software. Second is deep tech, which is a combination of semiconductors, space tech. We're looking at robotics, manufacturing, quantum. Looking at very, very focused manner, in a very focused manner in life science and biotech, which is a combination of healthcare, digital health, medical devices, drug discovery platforms, and also plant biotech if we find an opportunity there, right? So and this is our advisory and sponsor network, which is beyond just our investment team also. This mirrors our capability and what we believe in. We believe in bringing in value addition beyond capital. Like I said, we're very, very passionate about the spaces that we look at. So we believe that what a founder needs beyond capital is really understanding of the space in which they operate in, the product understanding. That's not just what they're building right now, but since founders build for the next decade, understanding what the product roadmap should look like for global launch and commercialization, really looking at regulatory pathway as well, and opening up doors beyond just Indian markets. And that's what our advisory and investment committee network really brings into the table. And really focusing through the investment life cycle, we have built expertise in each of these pillars, right from identifying opportunities, building a strong landscape and investment thesis across sectors we operate in, to investing in these companies. We have invested about 250, 260 crores in 33 companies that we have invested in, and each of these companies have gone out and raised additional capital, an aggregate of almost 2.5 to 3x of what we have invested in the company. These companies have come from the rest of the investment network, both private as well as strategic. We have exited about 7 out of these 33 companies to global acquirers. Some of the names include IBM, ABB, and also as recent as last 3 weeks, we have one company which has got acquired by Rubrik, which is a listed company in the US, right? So really building in that expertise through the investment life cycle itself. Again, to capture our journey, 2 funds that we have managed till date, and third is what we have raising at this point in time across sectors that include quantum, semiconductors, biotech, AI, both platforms as well as vertical AI, life sciences, and space tech. And as I speak to you, we have made first 2 investments from the third fund. One is in semiconductor, one is in space tech, and we're really doubling down in what we truly believe in, which is building deep tech focused innovations from India for the global market. These are some of the, and these are 3 pillars like I talked to you about, 3 part of our investment thesis. Maybe I'll take one from each of these bucket and explain to what the kind of innovation that we have backed. Mihoop, for example, the first logo, as you'd see, is a leader in the conversational AI space, which is building edge operatable AI platform with a strong focus on automotives. This voice AI is live in all the vehicles of Tata and Maruti as we speak at this point in time, and one of the market leaders in this category. If you look at biotech, we have invested in a company called Ahammune, which is a platform from drug discovery focused on immunotherapy-focused conditions, especially for skin. Conditions like vitiligo, psoriasis, which currently don't have a very curative measure. And this is a company that we were the first institution investor in this company. The company is getting to a second stage of human studies, potentially becoming world's top platform for a curative measure for therapeutics for these conditions which otherwise don't have a therapy available, right? In deep tech, we have invested in a company called Gyrofent, which is led by a professor from Indian Institute of Science who has built a team around him. And his life's work has been in Raman spectroscopy. He's built a device which can look at underlying material composition without opening the container. For example, if you look at narcotics and explosives as part of airport security, without opening the container, you will know if the container has substances which are otherwise harmful from both security as well as air travel, right? This is the kind of innovations that we have backed. And as I speak to you, like I said, we are raising and deploying the third fund. We have a strong focus on global relevance of the companies that we back. Though we are comfortable backing companies at a pre-revenue stage as well, we are looking at helping these companies get to their first $1 million, $1.5 million revenue in the first 12 to 15 months. So really focused on the revenue potential from the companies that we back, and really looking at building the premier deep tech focused venture capital platform from India as we speak. And happy to have a chat and speak to you more about the work, our thesis. And this is QR code that will take you to my email ID. Please reach out to me, and would love to have a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kailash. Questions for Kailash? We're taking one question and quickly wrapping up. Any question for Kailash? They're building the premier deep tech fund.
they're hungry. Everyone is hungry.
Yeah,
Everyone needs coffee.
Okay,
No,
okay.
but I'm available to speak offline as well. So, thank you.
Yeah, I can see many of them are scanning your QR code, so they'll definitely reach out to you. And here is our gift voucher for you from Grama Food. Thank you so much. Okay. We are almost towards the end, but you guys have been seated for a while now. So allow me to humor you a bit. Maybe I'll take 5 minutes more. I'm between your food and, as Kailash put it, between the coffee food and the completion of the event. All the founders over here want to build wonderful products. There is a different kind of vibrance that we see in India. I have been a business coach. I've been working with founders from UK, Europe, and India right now. Every market has its own nuances, and that's where I had a question for Kailash. When they're looking at global institutions, how are they looking at doing it? I'll ask you in the networking. I just held back my question. But these founders are a different breed altogether. You founders are a different breed who have set out on a journey to change something that everyone has taken for granted. Everyone will complain about that pothole in the road, but no one will go ahead and figure out a way of repairing it in the given scheme of things. Something similar is what you have set out on, which means that whether you like it or not, you are on a journey of committing 9999 ways of not inventing the light bulb before you truly find your light bulb, as Edison did. Unplug the Genius, which happens to be one of the sponsors of Pitchflix today, is one company that enables founders to accelerate this journey so that you can do 99 errors instead of 9,999 and quickly reach to your goal. So we do that in a manner of enabling you to clarify your idea, enabling you to look at your business model and build it right so that you do make revenue and it's not just a passion project. And more importantly, once you're making revenue, to be investor ready to scale up on time. If that is the market, that is what we are doing with. So feel free to reach out to me if you want to understand a little bit further about this and explore areas. And I'll tell you what kind of problems will be there. Can I play a small game with you? If 50% of the room raises hand, then I'll play that, otherwise I'll not. Be honest. Yeah. Can I play a small game? Yeah, there is 50% in the room. Okay, we all have been seated for a long time. So, can we stand up and do one small exercise which will take hardly 30 seconds? And I'll tell you what I'm trying to get to. Can we all please stand up wherever we are? Even those who are standing in behind, you can also try this with me. Okay? Just stand up in your place. So you can also try. And you need to stay still and you need to move yourself as far as you can. Okay? As far as you can. We'll do 1, 2, 3 and start. Okay? All of us do it together. And just note what is the last point that you saw when you turned around. Deal? Can I get a thumbs up or a yes? Cool. Okay. We start. 1, 2, 3. Just turn. Turn to your left. Turn as far as you can. I can see the Bangalore Tech Summit logo behind me. What can you see? Just take a note of that, or if you see a charming face, even better. Okay. I mean, behind you, maybe there's a charming face. You never know. Okay. Now I want you all to close your eyes and imagine yourself, or just visualize yourself turning around to the maximum possible extent. Okay? Just no one turns around. I'll say 1, 2, 3, and you simply visualize turning around. Deal? Yes? Okay. Close your eyes. Turn around to your left and turn around as much as you can. As much as you can. Make it a little more than what it was last time. A little more. Done? Let's come back to reality. Open your eyes. Let's again turn left, and this time go as far as you can and note the point that you see. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Turn left. Go as far as you can. this time I could at least see the mascot of Bangalore Tech Summit. Did it happen with some of you? Did you turn a little further? Did it happen? The thing is, when we imagine something is possible, we figure out a way. And what technically happens, what I have observed in my case, my leg assists me. I never said, don't turn your leg, right? My leg is still static, but it turns around a little more. So when we imagine something, we stretch ourselves beyond, and that is what we help you as Unplug the Genius to do, where you step into the unknown with confidence because you have visualized it, you have imagined it, and hats off to the founders in the room. A big round of applause to you because you are on a journey that is difficult to navigate, and yet you're doing it. So all the best to you. A big round of applause to the investors who are in the room and who might be around also because there is a tech fest going on everywhere, for believing in the founders and enabling them and also telling them what is working for the world right now. So a big round of applause, guys, please, for our investors. And also a big round of applause to Active and to the Karnataka government. Manjula ma'am was supposed to turn up. I had multiple conversations with her, but they're busy with firefighting for the event itself. So Rahul sir himself told me that that's why they couldn't turn up. So that's why we couldn't have the Karnataka government in the room, but they have been our supporters in the biggest possible way. Without them, this event wouldn't have happened. Active, the very organization that has enabled us to do this, and also to my wonderful volunteers and the Active volunteers here, the cameramen who are recording and live streaming this so that you can see it later on. A big round of applause to all of them, please. And also, last and not the least, my team which is spread across the globe. We are a team of around 9 to 11 people who are spread across the globe and are covering all these 250 plus investors across the globe. So thank you to each and every member of the team and everyone else who has come on board just to help us out with this. So, and thanks to all of you for patiently waiting and getting this done. We are now opening up for networking, but remember, Pitchflix, go ahead. Investors, you'll find your best of the founders here. Please do register, and from across the globe who are trying to grow into India also. Founders, go ahead and register and be discovered, be visible to the investors. Accelerators, this is another medium you can collaborate with us to get your founders have maximized visibility and investability in the least possible time. Thank you so much, everyone. We are networking for 30 minutes in interest of time because they're wrapping up the place. Please enjoy. Please talk to the people who are relevant to you and have a lovely rest of the evening. Thank you.